What's going on, everybody? We've got our package in for the fan for the Glossal White Slim. We're going to get that put in, get this thing listed. When we have it apart, we're also going to open up the DVD drive. I didn't actually do that the first time, even though it's working great. We might as well clean it out. And we're obviously going to see if we can try to get some of these scratches that are on here out, as well as clean a little better inside this grill piece. But other than that, I mean, as far as gloss slims go, this one's in pretty good shape. I also, they all just fell out. Used this controller for one of our XCM Supreme shells. So we're actually going to use some of the buttons from this one to swap out these. This one has like a gradient white, gray, black situation. We're going to put those over here. I think we will leave the yellow, even though we're going to not change out the LEDs. We were going to do this one. It looks like that package is lost, and I'm just tired of waiting on packages, so we're going to get it listed. If it does show up, we'll throw it in there and update the listing if it's still up there. But yeah, so let's go ahead and open it up and get this together. You have to make your own tools. Okay, anyway, enough of that. Hope you like the silent film. So we're going to put the rest of the shell on. Like I said, I'm going to still give it one more quick clean. There's still some stuff there, like inside the little grill points there. I only did a quick clean the first time. But then we're going to put the shell on and actually get it listed. However, I did order some Scratch Doctor. Now, I haven't really done a lot of this in the past in terms of cleaning up like the gloss parts, and you can see up close with the flash on, it's like Swirl City there, but overall it really, in terms of a gloss slim at least, is in pretty good shape. It does look terrible with the flash on, I gotta be honest, but obviously the white hides it pretty well. In person, the only thing that really sucks is this USB door. I mean, it looks like the steering column on an old Dodge, or a newer Dodge even. And I was going to put it all together and try out the Scratch Doctor stuff, unless someone else has a better stuff that they've used on things like this that they think might work, let me know. But This is probably the best place right here below the disk drive. And with the flash on again, it doesn't look that great. But obviously when this is on, I can't like put pressure on this. It'll just keep opening. And it's also kind of yellowed too. The one on this gloss one is actually in great shape. And again, this is me looking at it for the first time with the flash on, and I feel like a liar, but there you go. That door looks fantastic. And since the sync button is black already, I think I just want to kind of swap those. That might be a cool little extra detail anyway. I could take the one off of Kylo, but like I said, I just don't want to risk cracking that one in any way. So I think I'm just going to put this clean one on here. We're going to finish putting it together. I am going to make the listing, and then in the meantime, hopefully that stuff shows up, or if I find something better at the store in the meantime. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like it. All these cleaned up. There was some kind of like fingerprint sort of like greasy fingerprint situations there. I was able to scrub it all off pretty well. Now obviously, as I said, you can see from certain angles, there's like a spot here that's pretty scratched over there, but like right here it looks fantastic. There we go, nice little touch there. Now, as I mentioned, it was overwhelming response, not to cut into this or anything. People actually really liked it the way it was. I still wanted to add this fan, nice little touch there. Now, it is going to be a little louder than the Kylo one, which we had stepped down to around 8 volts. This one's full 12, so it is a little louder than the factory fan, but it's like this much louder for like this much more airflow, so not really worried about it. Now, as I mentioned, we are going to get this one listed, and if you saw the previous video where I talked about selling and how we're going to do that from now on, no more auctions or best offers, I will still be using eBay to list stuff, although I would recommend going through me directly in order to save roughly 20%, and that is because of the ridiculous seller fees on eBay. And on top of that, even if you have an immediate payout, it could be at least a week before you actually have access to any of the funds, which can really be a problem, especially when we had those two systems just missing for almost a month. And then on top of that, you know, over a month is kind of ridiculous for a finished one to have to wait to actually get the funds for that, because obviously this is kind of a business. And while I have this system right here, which I guess is technically my only one with a working disk drive, obviously this one doesn't have one, neither is Kylo, so I'm going to go through those games real quick. There are 2 copies of Grand Theft Auto 5 in this lot, and I'm really hoping at least one of them works just fine, and I will actually be including this in another build we'll talk about really quickly. I really wanted to do something with this shell, even though it's a non-HDMI board. We will still leave it non-HDMI. It'll be more of a budget build, but I want to do kind of a new version of the Grand Theft Auto 4 Xbox that we did, and we're going to do Grand Theft Auto 5. So we'll add, I do still want to add a little bit of a window. We'll add some cool accents and stuff. We'll obviously include Grand Theft Auto 5, a controller, and all that kind of stuff. As I said, 200, 215, but if you go through me directly, you'll have to contact me either through Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok for, you know, shipping information, all that kind of stuff. I would also take PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. So if you want to go through me directly, you know, you're looking at more 150 range for this. So that's kind of how I want to do things, at least for now. We'll try it out, see how it goes. I still have quite a follow. I have more followers on eBay than Instagram, so that's why I still want to list stuff there. But if prices seem a little ridiculous, contact me. You know, that's kind of the whole deal there, is the eBay fees have just kept going up. The controller to go along with it, although there's one more thing I'd like to change. Just not a fan of these buttons over here. There we go, I think that looks a lot better. A little more clean there. I could still put the white X button there, but it's supposed to be sort of a gradient situation, but this one just seems a lot darker than the rest. But anyway, that's part of the beauty also of going directly through me. You know, if there is a build and we agree on something, but you're like, hey, it would be really cool if, you know, this color was changed out, or I do actually want the different color ring of light on the Gloss White Slim, little things like that. We can work that out. And stay tuned as we get the final details set up here for R2H2O and finally get it tested, working. Like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next video.